back to learning how to play the piano and improve your brain health while having a great time doing it. I'm so excited that you've joined me again. This is video number 3. And let me just give you a big woohoo, congratulations that you're actually following through, these lessons that I'm actually giving to you as a gift to be able to hopefully inspire you for what this can be in your life, for your health, for your family, for just greater joy and peace. And really that is what this is all about for me. I'm excited to be offering this breakthrough course because so much of people who learn to play the piano like I did my whole life didn't even realize what it was doing to improve my brain health and the quality of that in the way of greater brain plasticity and brain connectivity and increased focus. And recently I just read a research study that I included in your PDF this week of a group of, I believe it was adults over 60, 70, 80 years old. And it was amazing, the results that they shared, and they showed in this scientific study about so much less depression, less anxiety, greater joy, greater peace, more of a vision for their life, or being able to be quick to see things. And that is so exciting to know that we have a tool to be able to do this called playing the piano. How exciting is that, right? Because you could try to figure life out in a lot of ways, but here we are right now learning how to do something that we want to do, which is create music in our home and maybe be that example for our children as well. So I just want to congratulate you on that, because I think that that's part of what's going to, I want to hear from you, in other words, the results. I want to hear what you're experiencing in the way of greater focus since you're starting to practice, and greater ability to maybe bring peace to your heart, out of sitting down at your keyboard or the piano. Now, the key, what I just said, is a word. It's called practice. So, I'm not saying you have to practice hours a day like I did when I was, studying to become in classical music in college, but I will ask you if you could find 20 minutes. Can you find 20 minutes, even 15 minutes? That 15 to 20 is even better, is a key number in being able to develop the skill and also the left brain, right brain, and begin to experience some of the results that I know you want to experience out of this. So with that, we're going to go to the piano, and we're going to work on some of the things to increase your skill level and also to begin to practice every day with. Now, I did send additional PDFs this week. I highly recommend that you go ahead and print those out, because that's going to help and support you, not just during these video lessons, but if you want to review them, and also during when you're practicing your practice time. So we're going to go ahead and begin our lesson with reviewing our G scale. And if you remember, of course, we're going to start on G. So we always, if you need to use your anchor point as your middle C, here's G. And so we're going to go ahead and begin our G scale. And our pattern is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And then coming down, we're going to do the same thing. Notice again the fingering that's on your PDF. I'm going to do the left hand now. And then together, which is such a great thing to do as you're practicing to develop playing your hands together. So we're going to do it slowly. As you continue to do this, a little bit every day, what's going to happen is you're going to develop muscle memory, memory with your fingers, finger memory, so to speak, where you're not even going to have to think about it. And that's part of the beauty of playing an instrument like the piano. And that's the goal there, is to get those scales just to where there's like flowing water. You're just having fun with it, and you're not even thinking about it. Now, in the beginning, you're going to go slower, of course, so that's no problem. Let's go ahead and get to our G chord. And if you remember, again, our chord structure is always 1, 3, 5. And when we play them together, we have the full G chord like that in the left hand if you wanted to go a little lower for a deeper sound. What I want to focus on today with our chords is teaching arpeggios. And so the arpeggio is the chord, it's the full chord played out in an octave. So it's, for instance, 1, 3, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1. That's your arpeggio for the G chord. And if you notice, in order for my hand and your hand to be able to reach comfortably, you're not going to play it like that because you need your pinky over here. So you're going to go your first finger, your second finger on the third note, fifth note with your third finger, and back up to your fifth finger on the first note. In your left hand, it's going to follow a similar pattern. And that's the kind of fun practicing that you just want to spend a little bit of time. You don't have to have it perfect, but the idea is to be able to play it together. Now, something that you might also want to do is think about all the different variations you can do, right? So for instance, you could play the G chord in your left hand and do the arpeggio in your right. You could play the chord in your left hand and do the scale in your right. In addition, you could do it opposite. You could play the chord in your right hand and do the scale in your left hand. And that begins to give you some, ability to bring things together, to have fun, vary it a little bit. And what you're doing is, again, you're activating that right-left brain activity that you want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to learn the F scale. Yay, because look how you're just cruising right along. So I'm going to teach you the third scale, the F scale, because C, G, and F go so well together. And then we're going to learn a song today that every one of you probably know. So here we're going to start with our F note here. And remember, F is just so easy. Of course, it's right next to G. But it's also always the half step down from the first of the 3 black note series that you find all along. So here you have F, so we're going to go on up this scale. I'll do that again. And in the left hand. One more time. And now just coming down. And then together, of course, we're going to do it in the beginning a little slower. there as you begin to practice and have fun with it. Now for our F chord, again, the pattern being 1, 3, 5, that's going to be F is your 1, A is your 3, your third note, C is your fifth note. And so if we play just the 1, 3, 5 in both the right and the left, this is how it's going to sound. Again, if we come down, you can, that would be fun, right? Just to kind of go all the way up, find all the chords in every single octave and see how they sound. And that's a lot of fun too. But anyway, so with the F chord now, we're going to stretch it out and play it separately in an arpeggio form. And so for the right hand, we'll do this. So it's the 1, 3, 5, 1. And as you remember, our fingering for the arpeggios is a little different. I've given you all that on your PDFs, the fingering for all your scales so far, as well as your arpeggios together. Great! See, so as you begin to practice this and just have fun with it, you're going to discover, wow, I'm actually playing the piano. Because the thing about music is, and especially with something like piano, it really is all based in your scales and your chords and your different keys that you're playing in, because from one chord or from one scale or one arpeggio can flow an entire song when you bring them together with just a few other chords. Now, last week, I think we did that very famous song, Mary Had a Little Lamb, on video 2. And I'm sure that was probably not just the top song that you want to learn, but it is a great song to be practicing with just your C and your G chords. So I included that in your PDF, and I really want you to go ahead and review that because it's so easy. And I even gave you the notes and the fingering to play it all out. But today I want to incorporate the C and the G and the F together as our next song that we're going to learn. And that song is Hallelujah. That is the traditional, just the one word, Hallelujah. And so we begin with C. Now, you probably just watched that and thought, she made it look so easy. How do I do that? It's just practice. If you notice, really what I was doing in my right hand for the most part, I was playing the 1, 3, 5s for the chords. And I was like doing a little bit of an arpeggio, playing the chords separately. Doing that. So what you're seeing is on the right hand, I'm just sticking to the chords. And in the left hand, I'm playing a little bit of the melodic sound of it. I'm dividing the chords up. I'm playing them separately, like the arpeggios. You don't have to always play 3, 5, 1. You can just play. You can do that. Just part of the F arpeggio, and then you see how that goes there. That's part of learning to develop practice by practicing to get your left hand and your right hand working together. Now I have included in your PDF everything you need to practice this very simple song. What I recommend to start with, just start playing the chords in your right hand. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You can start that way. Just practice your right. Practice your left separately. Hallelujah, or you can do it that way too. There's no exact perfect right way to do it. What's important is that you begin to work it together. Start separately, right hand, left hand, then do the best that you can. Even if you just play one note in the left hand while you're playing the right hand, or one note in the right while you're playing the left. It's a matter of beginning to train and develop that brain connectivity, that working together, that ambidextrous activation for both sides of your brain, both of your hands working together. And what's going to happen is after a while, it is really like you're just going to do it naturally. It's going to be the way you do anything, the way you walk, the way you drive a car, the way you ride a bike. You learn, you practice, and then after a while, it's second nature. So I want to just leave you with this. Obviously, as I mentioned, you're not going to learn everything in 3 lessons or 4 lessons. I have my 4th lesson coming to you soon. I want to encourage you that you are just beginning. You can see already how simple it is to put together 2-3 chords and learn, a couple of different songs like that. Does it take a little bit of practice? Yes. But you know what? I want to encourage you to hang in there and stick with me, because I believe that we're just beginning for you to experience the kinds of results that you want to experience with this. That's going to take some time. So I am going to talk to you a little bit later, next video, about ways that you can stay connected with me, and a community, which I'm super excited about to share with you, a community of beginner playing piano players who together we're going to do some wonderful things to increase our health, our brain health, bring joy and music into our home, and just have a great time doing it. So thank you so much, and practice. See you next time.